For the last century, science classrooms have taught us to think of magnets and the building blocks of reality as flat, two-dimensional shapes. When we picture physical matter this way, we are stuck trying to understand the solid objects around us using a model that physically cannot explain how they move or interact. That rigid textbook picture of a flat magnet is incorrect. To understand the actual architecture of the universe, we have to throw out that static illusion and look at a constantly moving three-dimensional engine. Every single piece of matter is actually built from soft, continuously rotating spheres of magnetic fields. In the language of this architecture, we call one of these spherical entities a plasma. Millions of these exact same spinning spheres cluster together to form the microscopic cells in your fingernails, and they dictate the behavior of massive, distant stars. We are going to map exactly how these invisible, bouncy structures link up to construct everything you can see and touch. The universe exists as a massive, synchronized ecosystem of spinning spheres, each one constantly interacting with its neighbor to maintain the structure of reality. If we look at this diagram of a single plasma, we see magnetic fields continuously looping. They flow out by exiting the top pole, curve around the outside edge, and re-enter through the bottom pole. Inside the sphere, there is a strict rule. Whatever fields enter one end of this tunnel must travel straight down the middle axis and come out the exact opposite side. But not every line curves back inward right away. As these fields burst out of the top, they fan outward into empty space, actively searching the surrounding environment for a complementary field to join. When a compatible match is close by, millions of those outward-seeking fields bridge the gap and lock firmly onto the neighboring plasma. Even when locked together, these connected plasmas never physically touch. They maintain a specific, precise gap, so they can continue to spin and move freely, much like students sitting at separate desks in a classroom. This exact mechanical balance, seeking a strong connection while maintaining a strict physical distance, is the primary rule that holds all physical shapes together without letting them collapse. If the building blocks of reality are actually soft, invisible, and bouncy, we have to ask why the everyday world around us feels so hard and rigid. To understand this duality, we can look at a standard raw egg. This video shows what happens when you submerge an egg in vinegar for 3 days. The acidic liquid aggressively eats away the hard, chalky exterior, revealing the soft, intact membrane underneath. Once that hard outer layer is entirely stripped away, you are left with a bouncy, flexible ball. This is a perfect physical representation of a plasma in its natural state. The solid items humans interact with are simply rigid, superficial shells. Beneath the surface of that matter lies a deeply dynamic, soft plasma interior. These spherical building blocks don't just stack together to build objects. Their specific behaviors also generate the visible energy around us. When a spherical plasma is pulled and elongated into a thin line, the behavior of its magnetic fields changes. Much like a piece of gum being stretched into a long strand, this elongated magnetic form travels through space, and we perceive this specific shape as visible light. Energy is also generated through intense physical friction between multiple plasmas. In this visualization, 2 rotating spheres are forced tightly against each other. As they compress unnaturally close, the field lines entering and exiting their surfaces violently crash, tangling and fragmenting at the boundary. Concepts like illumination and temperature are simply the mechanical byproducts of these plasmas, either stretching out into long lines or crashing their fields together. We can take these exact microscopic rules and apply them directly to massive universal bodies. A single tiny plasma ball operates identically to what traditional textbooks define as an atom or a proton. When millions of these individual spheres join together, their magnetic fields begin to interact and overlap. These specific combinations allow the plasma to manifest as complex physical structures, from the durable protein chains in your fingernails to the highly specialized rhythmic pulsing cells of a human heart. This layering process scales without limit. When billions of these field systems cluster together in the vacuum of space, their combined magnetic interaction generates the massive gravitational presence of entire planets and solar systems. Physical scale only dictates the size of the sphere, never its baseline behavior. The rules of quantum physics and astrophysics are exactly the same. The physical world is built on a beautifully simple, continuous choreography of magnetic spheres seeking connection. Every single object you touch or observe is an active, breathing participant in an infinite, interconnected web of soft plasma.